Hello, hi everyone. Welcome back. This is Lisa again. I'm coming to you live today. Once again, I'm sorry I was supposed to be here sooner than later, but it has been a very busy week, and there's some things that are taking place. I wanted to come on um, to tonight because early this morning, while I was at work, I got a telephone call from an older sister letting me know once again another relative has passed away. And this was one of my mother's youngest sister. My aunt um, passed away early this morning. So I want to once again talk about grief because this is one thing that we all have in common is grief. Because let me tell you, when it hits us, it just, no matter who we are, what status we are in life, grief will eventually come upon us. And this one has hit me as well because this is a aunt that I spent a lot of time with growing up. Um, and my condolences for her children right now because they are really going through it at the moment. And I wanted to come on and talk about this because someone out there is also going through grief right now. They also are experiencing um, the grief that happened recently. Once the a loved one pass away, um, and you get over the initial shock of it, then all these other feelings come upon us. And it is to be expected. And when someone needs to hear this as well, when you get over that initial shock that that person is gone, then all these other feelings will come out. Know that those things are supposed to happen, but don't stay in a place of depression or anger or whatever it is that you're feeling. What I needed to do, as I stated in some prior videos about grief, is that when I lost my mother, it was really the initial shock of it was very difficult. I ended up in a hospital probably a few days after learning of her death. And then, the grieving period was just, it was so difficult. One of the things that I could say is that I'm glad that we were off from work because I don't think I would have been able to work at that time because I was so out of it. And it took all this time. She passed away in 2020, and it took up until now for me to actually get over it. So I am, really, really in a place now where I want to help other people because I know what it feels like firsthand. I met a woman today in a business setting, and I didn't know her. It's my first time meeting her. And we were actually talking about grief. And I had mentioned to her that I just found out that a relative had passed away early this morning. And she told me her story about a relative. And I really listened, and it brought tears to my eyes because we really don't know what people are going through. We don't know what a person is going through or what's happening with them, you know, um, because everyone has a story. And once we learn that their story is similar to ours and what they did to get through it, then it comforts us. Because let's face it, the loved one is gone. We're never going to get over that. A part of us is with them and we don't get over it. However, we can get through it, but it's going to take some time. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. All these different feelings will come upon you, and sometimes it might make you think that there's something wrong with you, but it's not. It's a grieving period. And like I said, it takes time. For me, grief therapy is essential. It helps. Like I had a session with my grief counselor today, and I am a lot better today than I was when it first happened. And that's what I want to tell others who are out there grieving. In the beginning, it's going to be hard as hell. It's going to be really difficult, but you will get through it step by step. Please, in your area where you live, please look up and search for grief um, and bereavement organizations that you can sign up for, like grief support groups, because someone there at that group has a story about losing a loved one. And you may relate to that story, and it will help you get through this process, as well as having a grief counselor. So please, please, that's what I did. I reached out to my church, and they were able to help me find a counselor, etc., because that's so important to the healing process. In the beginning, it's going to be very difficult to heal from this, because it takes time. Everybody grieve differently, and everybody heal in their own time frame. So don't rush it. Get through it one step at a time. I will be posting. Right now, today, I'm a little sad about losing my aunt. It's just to find that out, and that she passed away early this morning. But I stay in prayer a lot with God, and that helps me a lot with everything. So someone needs to hear this message today. Once again, I want to encourage you that if you have recently lost a loved one and you're in a period of grief and depression, please find, you can go on Google, find a therapist, a specific therapist, a grief bereavement therapist, and find a grief bereavement group that you can sign up with, because this is going to help tremendously. So thank you for listening. I will be back on next week. And please subscribe to my channel, tell others, and share this video, because someone is somewhere depressed. And like I said, everyone doesn't grieve the same way, and they may not want to talk about it, but they may be hurting real bad, and they may need to see this message so that they can reach out to a grief organization in their area. So my email address, if anyone wants to email me, is Lisa Vaughn, VAUGHN 410 at gmail.com. Like I said, I will be back on next week. So please share, subscribe, and tell others about this channel, because this is a channel that's going to shed not only light on situation, provide information, and talk about healing. Thank you once again for being here, and everyone have a great weekend.